Hello and welcome to today's broadcast. Today we are going to talk about emotional eating and how it is that emotional eating has sort of become the grown woman's temper tantrum. And if you're feeling a little tender-hearted about today's subject, just stick with me through today's conversation, and I promise you, you will understand exactly what I am talking about today. So welcome if you are joining us. My name is Diane. I'm the creator of the online course and community, Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman. And that is a course and community where we help aging women look and feel their best and live their most authentic life through incorporating an intermittent fasting lifestyle for themselves that will stand the test of time. So one of the things that we so nonchalantly comment about or even use as sort of a lighthearted type of discussion is emotional eating. Especially right now with everybody being in quarantine. I don't know if you've picked up on a lot of the marketing these days, but everything is around eating and how it's so okay right now to emotionally eat and drown your sorrows in food and drink it away because times are tough, and that's just what we do to make ourselves feel better. And what I want to do today is share with you why that is not okay and give you 4 tips to help you really evaluate maybe yourself, and if you classify yourself as an emotional eater, and some things that you can do to reclassify yourself and really end that destructive cycle that a lot of us find ourselves in. So I used to be an emotional eater myself. Whether it be good emotion or bad emotion, it didn't matter. Like, I am a happy eater, I'm a sad eater, I'm a depressed eater, I used to be a stress eater. So all those are the past for me. I no longer classify myself that way or use food in that way because it just doesn't serve me, and it is not the solution to any sort of problem. So we talk about that here a lot as well. Like, food is not entertainment, food is not discipline, food is not reward, food is not a problem solver, food shouldn't be your therapist, food should not be your numbing agent, yet we still use it that way, and it is actually socially acceptable. I was just telling Michael, like, you know, if a woman walks into a conversation with another group of women and the conversation gets on diet, maybe, let's say, and a woman, you know, professes, oh yeah, I'm a total emotional eater, and everyone chimes in, right? Like, oh yeah, me too, and you know, that's what I do, and this is my favorite thing to use, and it's like this okay club to be part of. But if someone were to walk into a room and say, oh yeah, I'm a heroin addict, or I use alcohol emotionally, or some other sort of, you know, thing that's deemed as a negative, it's shunned upon, and people will gasp and they'll feel sorry for you and maybe shun you away. But food is that socially acceptable drug that we use to numb, and just like any other drug, it is used for when it's used in an emotional state as a numbing agent. So today's top conversation is not about mental health, it's not about eating disorders, any of those type of things. I'm talking about the casual emotional eater who is justifying what she is doing, yet keeping herself in this really negative space and really unhappy with how her body is or how she's feeling about aging. So using food as an excuse. So the 4 tips I want to give you today that will really help you identify what it is that's going on with you, and some simple steps and things that you can put in place to change what is not working for you, because emotional eating does not serve us in any situation. Quarantine, stress, problems at work, bad marriage, any of those things, food is not going to be the thing that's going to make things better for you. So the first thing we want to do, if we feel like we are emotional eating or we identify ourselves as that way, is to stay conscious. We want to develop an awareness around what triggers eating uncontrollably in an emotional type of setting. So when we become unconscious and we sink inside of ourselves, we tend to just numb away everything and can uncontrollably find ourselves in an overeating or self-indulgent type of situation, and will do what a lot of us do, and that's sabotage ourselves. And we do it without even realizing it because we're not conscious in the moment. So the first thing we have to do if we find ourselves feeling stressed out or feeling unhappy or feeling cabin feverish like a lot of us are feeling right now is stay conscious in that and be aware that those are just feelings, and those feelings will not get better when you numb them or try to stuff them away with food. So the first tip, stay conscious. The second thing is put tools in place and create boundaries. So if you find that when things feel stressful for you, or you're in a situation where you feel out of control, don't put things in place that are your self-sabotaging things. Don't put things in place that are your numbing agents, because if you don't have them readily available, they cannot be used as tools. And you have to put boundaries in place before you find yourself in an emotional situation. So if you have the boundaries that you can put in place would be when you do shopping for yourself or when you bring things into the house. If you know you're going through a stressful time, or you know you don't have control of over those situations yet, then don't put things in place that are going to allow you to indulge in them if you find yourself in an emotional situation. So you have to remove the thing that puts you into that emotional eating state. So I want you to think about, because the title of today's topic is the grown woman's temper tantrum. So think about a kid that is throwing a temper tantrum to get what they want, and what that looks like and what that sounds like. And as a parent, if you don't nip that in the bud before it becomes something that's completely out of control, then you're gonna have this child that's running your life. And for a lot of us grown women, that the child is replaced by food, right? And that those food situations end up running our lives. And so we have to nip that in the bud. And the best way to nip that in the bud is figure out what those things are for you and then eliminate them from your surroundings. And don't justify bringing them in because you have kids in the house or because your husband likes it or you will be okay with it. No, we can't make those justifications anymore. We have to nip it in the bud and get rid of what is going to tempt us in a situation where we might be feeling emotional. The third thing is stop repeating what is not working for you. So we often find ourselves saying, oh, I'm an emotional eater, but I'm so unhappy with my body. Oh, I'm an emotional eater, but I'm so bummed out I don't fit in my jeans. I'm an emotional eater, but I want to lose 50 pounds. And you can't have that but scenario in that conversation that you're having with yourself. You have to learn how to identify that the problem that you are associating with is creating the end result that you're not happy with. So you can't keep repeating that same scenario when you already know what the outcome is going to be. The only way that you can change the outcome of a situation that you're not happy with is to change what you're doing in the situation. So we cannot keep repeating the same scenario that we have been living out our entire life if we already know what the end result is going to be. And then the fourth thing that you have to do if you are identifying as someone who eats in emotional situations is you have to change your vocabulary. You cannot keep identifying yourself as something that you're not happy with. So if you identify as that type of person, you have to reclassify yourself. And I often say, a little bit in a joking way that, when women come to me and say that they're stress eaters, I'm like, well, why can't you be a stress something else? Why are you identifying yourself in a stressful situation with something that has a negative outcome? And why can't you be an emotional walker? Why can't you be an emotional reader? Why can't you be an emotional person who does the laundry or mops the floor or vacuums the house or goes for a walk or whatever it is you do? So when you identify yourself in an emotional situation, you have to change the vocabulary in your head so that you can take control of that outcome. So why can't you go for a walk when you're feeling emotional? Why can't you listen to a podcast? Why can't you call a girlfriend? Why is it that you're okay with the fact that you're identifying yourself as something that is the end result of something that's negative for you? So you have to change your vocabulary about the situation. We also have to make sure that when we're identifying and reclassifying who it is we say we are, that we also associate the words that we choose to describe ourselves in that situation as well. Because what ends up happening, we talk about this a lot here as well, is we create those negative mind maps in our head. And so then we automatically go to that action when we find ourselves in that situation. So if you change how you're talking to yourself and how you believe in yourself, then the action that you're going to automatically go to will change as well. And when you're in the beginning stages of changing these behavioral mindsets, you have to put things in place that you will literally trip over when you're in that place where you haven't automatically made that change yet. So you have to put reminders on the refrigerator. You have to put reminders on the pantry. You have to put reminders on your phone. You have to put, a zip tie on the pantry doors, or whatever you have to do to stop you in that moment, so that you will remind yourself that that's no longer the action that you take in that situation. So the 4 points again that I'm going to go over, if you're finding yourself in these temper tantrums as a grown woman, and we have all been there, these are the things that you can do to end the temper tantrum cycle. Stay conscious when you find yourself in an emotional situation that triggers uncontrollable or unconscious eating situations. 2, put tools in place that will create boundaries for yourself. So if that means you eliminate the things that are the triggers for you, then that's exactly what you need to do. You cannot have conversations and negotiations with yourself when you're not strong enough to live up to the boundaries that you put into place. The third thing is stop repeating what you know is not working for you. So if you have been an emotional eater your entire life and that has not served you well, why are you still justifying that behavior when you already know that the outcome is not something that you are happy with? And then the 4th thing is you have to change your vocabulary. You have to change how you are identifying yourself in an emotional situation. And then you have to change the dialogue that is going on in your head, because your mind will believe what you tell it. So if you're not happy with what your mind is believing, then you have to change the conversation in your own head. There is no one that can do this for you. You have to make the decision today, right now, in this moment, that you are no longer an emotional eater and that you are no longer going to sabotage yourself regardless of the situations that are going on around you, because you, as a grown woman, want to have a better life for yourself and you want to show up for yourself in a better way. No more excuses, no more temper tantrums. We know what a temper tantrum looks like, and it is not attractive, and we do not want to be that woman anymore. I hope this helps you if you are feeling like your life is a little bit out of control right now. Just because we're in quarantine, or just because things are feeling uneasy, or just because things are feeling uncertain, does not justify eating your life away. It does not justify eating your life away. You will come out of this situation, and you need to come out of this better than you went into it, because life is going to be uncertain moving forward, and we don't know if things are going to be better for us, but we have the power to show up better for ourselves, and right now that is the only thing that we can control. If you haven't already done so, please leave a comment in the comment section. This conversation today was not meant to be offensive to anyone. It is meant to be a wake-up call. It is meant to be something that's going to shake you and have you think about the things that you're doing in your life and how you're feeling about them. And if you're not happy with them, you know now that you have the power to change them. And I encourage you to put that power into play and start making some changes today. We do all this work in our Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman course. You know that if you're a graduate, you've been in the course, you've been through it. We talk about this. We go deeper into this, into our midlife mindset shift course. We're going to be working on some stuff this weekend, ladies. If you're already in our midlife mindset shift course, if you're not in yet and you're a graduate, make sure you get registered before Saturday. We're going to have some great conversations going on in our Zoom call this weekend. I'm going going to go through and welcome everyone and answer any questions or comments and help anyone who's feeling stuck. This is the time to ask for help. I am here to help you for sure. If you haven't already done so, please take a second and hit that like button on Facebook and on YouTube, please. That shows YouTube and Facebook that this is a community that is thriving for other women and will help make a lot of this content available to others as well. So I always appreciate when you guys take a second to hit that for me there. And if you haven't already done so, make sure you subscribe as well. So today I'm going to start over on Facebook and welcome everyone and answer any questions or comments you guys have. Kathy, so happy to have you. She's a March 2020 graduate. If you are on our email list for our upcoming course, you've seen some of the testimonials from Kathy in our March course. She is one of our star students and she's doing phenomenal with this new lifestyle that she has created. Amy, my cousin from Oregon, is here. She's been thriving since 2017. I know she's doing well. Sheila, good point. I'm going to try this for sure. Yeah, for sure. All 4 points, you got to put them into play. And then Tracy, totally needed this. I know, girlfriend, it is a tough time and there, you know, I was telling Michael that I read it. What sparked today's conversation was I read an article from a very prominent nutrition company, and they were giving points on how to end emotional eating. And I read the article and I was so disgusted by it because it is so coddling and so what's the word I'm looking for? Demeaning almost to us women and how the advice that they gave for how to end emotional eating. And I thought, you know what? It's a temper tantrum. Like, it's a temper tantrum. And if we don't start taking control of it and start taking this seriously, we are going to have big problems on our hands because life happens all the time. And you know this if you're a graduate of my course. I tell you to keep a journal inside of your course because guess what? Something's going to happen in life and it's going to throw you off track. And you need to know what day and what you did on that day to get you to the point where you're feeling amazing. So all you have to do is go back to that information again. You just have to repeat exactly what you did. And we can no longer joke off or laugh off eating ourselves into this misery. It is just not okay. And I refuse to coddle the situation when I know as grown women, we are better than that. And we have the opportunity to make the choices that we want to make for ourselves. We just have to be serious about it. And we have to want it bad enough to put things in place like the 4 steps I told you today to make sure that it happens for ourselves. So no coddling here. I'm going to give it to you guys straight every time. Teresa, joining late. That's okay, girlfriend. You can watch the rebroadcast for sure. It's always good to have you with us. I know you're super busy doing good things for the world by creating those amazing masks and that you're selling in your Etsy shop. So we appreciate you jumping on with us. Jennifer, good afternoon from Michigan. Sonia, hello. Lori, hello. Good to have you with us today. She's also a graduate. She submitted an amazing testimonial video as a graduate for our course. So again, if you're on my email list, you got to see the amazing things that Lori has done with her intermittent fasting lifestyle as well. Hello, Donna, good to have you with us. Diana, hello. Judy, November 2019, grad from Charlotte, North Carolina since January, have lost 17 pounds, 8 inches. Love this lifestyle. Girlfriend, you are crushing it for sure. So what I love even more than the 17 pounds is that 8 inches, because I know that is life-changing. When the shape and size of your body changes, it is just the most rewarding feeling in the world. So I'm so proud of you and so excited for you. It just gets better from here. So make sure you're sticking with it, Judy. Holly, September grad from Florida. Lori, my friend lives there. Okay, so they're talking to each other. Jennifer, my husband wanted to go to Chick-fil-A today. I said yes, then no. It would have been an emotional decision. We were out and about, and I just found out my business cannot open for 2 more weeks. Oh, Jennifer, I'm so sorry. But it sounds like you put some boundaries in place and you stayed conscious in the situation and you identified that as an emotional situation, and so you said no to that. So I'm super proud of you. Not that Chick-fil-A is always a bad thing, but if you were doing it for an emotional type type of decision, then you did the work and you stopped yourself in your tracks. So be proud of yourself for that one. And I'm so sorry to hear that your business can't open for 2 more weeks, but hang tight, girlfriend. I'm sure that your clients will come back to you as raving fans as soon as you can get yourself back opened up. And Loria, good work. I never thought of all of that. I am no longer an emotional eater. Thank you. Yes, girlfriend, you're not an emotional eater. And that doesn't mean that we're not sensitive to things. It just means that we don't drown our emotions in food and we don't eat our lives away. So good for you, and keep repeating that to yourself for sure. And then Brenda from North Carolina, this is what I needed today. Crisis averted. Good for you, girlfriend. I'm so happy. And then Jennifer, really great advice. Good. Lisa, making a list of things to do when stressed. I have the power. Stressful times for sure. Yes, for sure. Make sure you're turning, those stress feelings into positive energy, right? So that you come out of the stressful situation winning the game. The last thing we want to do is come out of a stressful situation feeling worse off than we did when we entered the stressful situation. And I do believe that we have the power to exit stressful times in our life better for that stressful time, and that really can only happen when we identify ourselves in different ways. So keep those positive words going and that positive self-talk for sure. Jen, so right about bad habits being socially accessible. Annoys me like crazy. Yeah, for sure. And those same people are always complaining about how miserable their life is too. And gosh, can we make the association between the two things? So we can show up as better people for ourselves for sure, and then choose how we decide to socialize for sure. And then Lori, down 21 pounds, feeling fantastic in all aspects of my life. I love this lifestyle. Thank you again for all you provide. Lori, I am so proud of you. 21 pounds down. And Lori also had some really bad, I think it was hip and knee pain that she was suffering from, she's also felt some relief from since graduating from the course. So Lori, I'm super proud of you, and it just warms my heart to know that you are doing better. So keep at it, girlfriend, for sure. And then Janine, September 2019 grad plus midlife mindset. Great advice. I will watch again. Time to go through my course materials again and work on my mindset. Yeah, for sure. And we're going to work on some stuff on this Saturday Zoom call for sure. So if you can't show up live, don't worry about it. I'll record it and I'll post it with all of the worksheets and stuff that we're going to do on Saturday at noon. And for all my graduates who aren't in our Mindset Shift course, please email me. Let me know that you want to get in. If you get in before Saturday, you'll get to catch us live, and you'll get last week's work as well. So it's a really great community, and we're doing a lot of great stuff in there as well. Lisa, good to have you with us. Cheryl, November 2019 grad, absolutely not offensive. We need to hear this from you. It's the straight, honest truth that we haven't told ourselves. I love it. Thanks. Cheryl, thank you for saying that for sure. It doesn't do us any good to be coddled and to prolong the agony that we are putting ourselves in. So I will not waste your time talking sweet. I will love on you guys, and I will support everyone who shows up here and needs help and wants to make a better change for themselves, but I will never, ever not give it to you guys straight. So thank you for saying that. I appreciate the fact that you appreciate it as well. And then Wendy, good to see you. Heather, January grad, having a great hump day and week. Thanks for everything. Girlfriend, that is the best. And Lori, thanks for the hearts for sure. Amy, let's see what we got over here. I believe positive self-talk will change your life. I think the important thing is to be conscious of the bad things we say and just stop saying those words. Amy, I couldn't have said that better. So congratulations for thinking that way yourself, and thank you for sharing your thoughts with us here. Kim from San Francisco, May 2019 graduate, still loving the IF lifestyle, continue to lose weight, 30 plus pounds, but feeling healthy after a long 3 years. Kim, I think that is awesome for sure, and just keep at it. The great thing about creating a lifestyle is you get to choose what you do, right? So there's no start and stop. There's no heavy rules. There's no missing memory making moments. There's no feeling bad about decisions that you make. You get to own everything. And I think that the approach that we take here in this community, and what I really like to emphasize in the courses that I teach, is that you have the power to choose the life that you want to live, right? And you do it on your own terms. So every day you can wake up with the opportunity to look and feel your best because you are living your most authentic life. And I think if you're not living your life authentically, quickly, then we're missing so much, and we deserve to have more for sure. Paula, what happens when stress takes over and you lose it on a family member? I don't know. I don't have enough details to probably give you advice on that one, but eating a bag of hot Cheetos isn't going to make that family member any easier to deal with, right? Or eating cookies or cake or whatever it is that, you know, we do when we have those situations. So you might want to put some boundaries in place with that person. If they're causing you to that point of feeling so stressed out, you have to sit down with that person and put boundaries in place, boundaries that you need to have respected, and ask them what their boundaries are as well. And then you have to put some limits on the associations you have with people if they drive you to that point. That is not a healthy relationship. So you have to work on creating that relationship in a healthier way. And then there are just some times when you have to just limit exposure to people who put those triggers in place for you. And that's just the reality of life for sure. And then Melinda, love listening to the weekly chats. Yay, I'm so happy. Juliet, but the worst word in the English language. Yeah, for sure. We can't, you can't have one thing and then justify it with a but and have it transition into something that's, you know, is going to keep you in the trenches. So we cannot do that justifying anymore. We have to make sure that what we say we want to have for ourselves is backed up by the actions that we participate in, so the end result will actually be what we say we want. Otherwise, we're just wasting our time and we're wasting a lot of emotion, and it's just a downward spiral that gets worse with time. So I am going to let you guys go. I'm trying to keep these at 30 minutes. Thank you so much for contributing to today's community chat. I always love hearing from you. I love hearing your comments. I love hearing all of your success stories. My graduates, you make me so proud, and you keep me super excited about the work that we are doing here in this community for sure. If you guys have any questions, you know, you can always feel free to reach out to me via email for sure. Our next course is starting this weekend. It's on my birthday, which is May 2nd. I'm super excited about that. The big 54 this Saturday, so I get to spend a lot of time with you guys inside the new course on Saturday at 10 a.m. for our live welcome and Q&A. And then for my midlife mindset shift course members, we'll get to hang out and do a little birthday celebration at noon as well, and have a really great lineup of things that we're going to talk about inside there as well. If you have any questions about anything we have going on in our community, always feel free to get on our email list. That's the best way to know what's going on and when we have courses starting. Otherwise, I will see you guys next Monday, unless I'll catch you live in some of our communities and courses this weekend. Have a great rest of your week. Check into those 4 tips that I gave you today. See if you can identify some of those things that you're doing that maybe you're unconscious about. Put those triggers in place, create boundaries for yourself, and then make sure the talk that you have going on in your head and the conversations that you're having with yourself are positive and will lead you on a path of where you actually want to go. Have a great weekend, you guys. I will see you on Monday, 3 p.m. Central Standard Time.